hear me? 'Cause I'm sick of it all. Always digging in my skin. Always pushing my back to the wall. In my eyes is a madness. Can't believe what I saw. And I'll be here laughing when you fall. And there's nothing to say. 'Cause I'm already gone. You know I'm not like you. You were never wrong. Go ahead, walk away. But I want you to know I always hated you from hell.
Welcome in, everybody, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel at the Darlington Raceway. We're in Darlington, South Carolina for the Madness Racing League Premier Xfinity Series playoff race for the Season 3. Playoff race number 3 for race 11 of 12. We will crown our champion 2 weeks from now at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Things are getting ready to get crazy wicked here tonight at the Lady in Black. These guys are getting ready to take on a 1.36 mile egg-shaped asphalt oval. And when it comes to ripping and tearing up tires, you have found the place to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing here for playoff race number 3, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Welcome into the main broadcast cam live here at Darlington Raceway. Getting ready to go racing for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series live here tonight around the beautiful Darlington Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful day to go racing at that 75 degrees, 13 mile an hour wind, and we will have a day tonight race here tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, you are getting ready to watch about 14 drivers look to take on the Lady in Black. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the qualifying results are in and ready to go. On the pole, driving the number 9 from Coleman, Alabama, Ty Robertson. So ladies and gentlemen, we will count down the time until they allow us to get ready to go racing here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You have found it right here. If you're not already located over to the YouTube page, located on the top right portion of your screen, head over there now and press the like button and press that subscribe button. Seconds away from gritting up here and meeting your favorite drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you came for. See, we can't see some of the drivers locking and loading in these race cars. I'm seeing their names starting to pop up on my screen. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? As we get ready to wait these guys join in on the racetrack, here are going to be your starting 6 rows and your starting 12 drivers. Ty Robertson, Chase Johnson will be on the front row, and Everett Larson, Jerry Powers, Neil Rutt, Nicholas Maynard, Terry Hughes Jr., Thomas McLaughlin, James Fountain, Tony Cook, Sean Williams, and Corey Tesner. We'll get you down on the racetrack so you can meet those drivers, as we had a ton of you out in the fan zone earlier today trying to buy some merchandise. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're still missing about 4 or 5 more drivers. We'll go ahead and get it all kicked off here tonight, though. Driving the number 9 on the pole from Coleman, Alabama for the last Ferry Camp Racing, Ty Robertson. On the front row with him, driving the Chase Johnson Racing CJR Camaro, that's Chase Johnson. Starting in the 3rd place, 2nd row from Bristol, Tennessee, that's the 15-year-old SPP Camaro of Everett Larson. On the outside of him, 2nd row, driving the Havoline number 99 throwback Camaro from Park Ridge, New Jersey, that's Jerry Powers. Starting in the 3rd row, inside, driving the NR3 Design 66 Camaro from Union Beach, New Jersey, that's Neil Rutt. And on the outside of him, driving the Menard throwback number 02 from Wilford, South Carolina, that's Nicholas Maynard. And behind him, driving the number 81 Hellman's Dell Jr. throwback from Troy, Alabama, that's Terry Hughes Jr. And on the outside of him will be the Coca-Cola, the real thing, the number 38 from Hazabeth, Georgia, the Ford Mustang of Thomas McLaughlin. And driving the King of the Hill, number 24, CJR Camaro from Greenville, South Carolina, that's going to be James Fountain. And driving the Home Run Cafe, number 33, Nap Daddy Racing and Designs Camaro from Greer, South Carolina. That's Tony Cook. And shaking out the number 8 HendrickCars.com in the 11th place spot here tonight. That's the Chase Johnson Racing entry of Corey Tessner. And the final spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel from East Windsor, driving the number 25 Williams Racing Camaro, Sean Williams. Heading across the front straightaway, they'll get the one to go racing. This time around, the lights will flip off on top of the base car, indicating to us that we are getting ready to go racing around the lady in black for 120 laps. 4 sets of tires for 40 to 44 laps. Somewhere between 30 to 35 is what I've been told has been mixed up and changed here in Sunoco Racing Fuel. You want to go to victory lane, you're going to have to follow the keys of the race. Darlington, the lady in black, you must respect her or she will come out and bite you. Focus for 160 miles. All 110 laps here tonight are going to need the absolute utmost focus out of these drivers and minimize the mistakes here. You want to stay out of the outside wall and prevent from making the oh so great Darlington stripe on the outside of your race car. And finally, you're going to want to race the track and not the guys around you. And you'll find success here tonight in the lady in black of the Darlington Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, side by side here at the South Carolina 150. We're getting ready to go racing here at the lady in black, aka the Darlington Raceway, my home track. Peter the base car will hang the left down on the pit lane. The wind is blowing. The American flag is in full effect off the exit of turn 3 and 4. And it looks like we will extend it here. Peter the pace car just don't want to come off the racetrack quite yet. He heard that there is no tax on overtime, and it looks like he is really starting to take that serious here and take that to his advantage. Looks like he knows tax time is right around the corner. He's going to try to do that one for him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be 110 laps here tonight. Ty Robertson on the pole with Chase Johnson on the outside of him. A weather report here tonight, still about 73 degrees, so it's dropped about 2 degrees in temperature, and 13 miles an hour is the wind. The humidity is about 91% out here tonight. It is going to be hot inside of these race cars. These drivers are going to have their hands full tonight as they work off the exit of turn 2, down the Boeing, back straightaway, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You are getting ready to watch the South Carolina 150 here in Darlington, South Carolina. Ty Robertson, Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson, one of those Carolina drivers in the field. He's the hometown track guy as they head through the Earnhardt Towers. Ladies and gentlemen, you are set for 150 miles of playoff racing. Playoff race number 3 getting ready to take place here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, there is not a fan in their seats. Everybody is on their feet standing. Green flag is getting ready to fly here. You have yourself a virtual race. It's the South Carolina 150. Up at the top side of the racetrack, Chase Johnson clapped that outside safe repair. It looks like somebody gets loose down on the bottom side. We'll have all that information to you here as they work down the back, throwing straight away here on the Great Darlington Raceway. Everybody's going to have to keep the race cars in one piece here tonight if they want to find success. Ty Robinson looks like he may be the lucky guy to lead lap number 1 here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Heading off the exit of turn 4, heading across the line. Ty Robertson, Chase Johnson, Everett Larson, Neil Rutt to third, as well as Nicholas Maynard will be the top 5 drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Larson looking to the inside of Chase Johnson. Can he get himself clear? We're working lap number 2 of 110 here in the South Carolina 150, and Larson has himself clear off the exit of turn 4. Climbing up the banking through turns 1 and 2, this egg-shaped oval here in South Carolina is one of the toughest to tame here. That is why they call it Darlington. Too tough to tame. Everybody's going to have their hand full tonight. They're going to have to hold it together, though, if they want to hold and have their chance to climb up the leaderboard standings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the playoff race here tonight for the South Carolina 150, and we have the playoff standing points right around the corner for you. Give me just a moment, and we will have those up to you. And look at James Fallon, and Thomas McLaughlin battling door-to-door here in Darlington. They head towards turn 1. The sun beaming down here. And I forgot to bring some sunscreen, so I'm absolutely going to burn up. I'm Irish. Fountain on the top side. McLaughlin thinks better on the hill, let him clear off turn 2. Neil Rutt the third will pull to the back bumper of Chase Johnson, trying to make something shake off the exit of turn 3 and 4. Head across the line to complete another lap here. Lap number 5 at that for the South Carolina 150. Got 5-6 cars in a row here trying to make something shake. That Jerry Powers, the tail one in line as they work through the turns 1 and 2 exit here. Ladies and gentlemen, this turn 2 is going to be the one to bite all night long. It comes out to a very hard sharp exit there, and these guys, if they are not careful, will bang those right rear quarter panels there and cause themselves to grab the Darlington stripe. Neil Rutt the third's going to have to manage that. He's already up there giving that damn Darlington stripe to the outside of the number 66. Riding on board the Ocean Lakes Chase Johnson Racing number 5 Chevy Camaro of Chase Johnson from Greer, South Carolina. The sun beaming down the back straightaway inside of the windshield panels of each and every single one of these drivers. How are they going to manage these guys here tonight? As they, I would imagine you would have some kind of tinted visor inside of that race car on top of your helmet or something, trying to neglect, whatever the hell that word is. You know what I'm trying to say. I went to public school. You're riding on board with Jerry Powers. He's got his hands full right now inside of this number 99 from Park Ridge, New Jersey, as he works off the exit of turn 2, getting ready to head down the back, bowling straight away here in the 4th place spot, trying to make something shake. Duck, 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 goose. The back end on the back half is Neil Rutt the third as they work off the exit of turn 3 and 4 through the cookout flag stand. Heading third towards turn 1 and 2. Robertson's going to have the race lead. You have to scoot everybody else single file back. Ducks in a row throughout the field. Maynard ahead of James Fountain, trying to make something shake here, get a little bit of distance between him and that number 24, but Fountain has got himself clear of the traffic. He's starting to make his move up here towards the front of the pack. But it's going to be Robertson, Larson, Johnson, Powers, Rutt, the top 6 drivers here, making something shake here. Don't forget Jerry Powers inside of that number 99 Havoline Camaro. Bow ties round out the top 5, followed by a Toyota Supra of Nicholas Maynard in that number 02 Menards machine, located back here in the 6th place spot as he climbs the high banking here. Fountain looking to make something shake out the tail end of the Nicholas Maynard machine. You're riding out the windshield of the King of the Hill, CJR machine, and damn it, Bobby, you gotta get a little bit higher. James Fountain sitting that son of a bitch down into turns 3 and 4. That's the Bristol, Tennessee driver, the number 01 SPP Camaro of Everett Larson. Second in the standings on the playoff race coming in here tonight, needing to run down Ty Robertson. And that number 9, and we got a caution flag in turn 2. Trouble out of turn 2. It's the number 81 Helmsman Camaro of Terry Hughes Jr. involved in the accident here. The caution flag flies, and we're underneath the first caution flag 10 laps into tonight's event. Terry Hughes Jr. crashes here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look at what happened to Terry Hughes Jr. Side by side, what looks like gonna be Corey Tessner climbing the banking through turns 1 and 2. Terry Hughes Jr. looks like he may have just got tagged by Tessner hard on the outside safer barrier with Sean Williams getting collected in the incident as well. He'll have damage on the bottom side of the racetrack. We'll back that ass up one more time, see if we can't ride out of the front nose of Corey Riptide Tessner. See exactly what happened when inside of this HendrickCards.com Chase Johnson Racing Camaro is contacts made up in the turn 1 and 2. Tessner looks like he may have just sailed up a little bit, trying to get his lane on the bottom side of the racetrack. Just doesn't quite see Terry Hughes Jr. there. Hughes is backwards into the Goodyear barrier here in turns 1 and 2, but he's able to get it up and rolling. And you see Terry Hughes Jr., he's slapping the hell out of that steering wheel. He's not going to be happy the way that he was just raced. We'll see if we can't drive you on this onboard cam with Terry Hughes Jr. as he takes a wild ride here in Darlington. Some days you're the bat, some days you're the ball, and it's never fun when you're the ball. We're back in just a moment here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel after Terry Hughes Jr. goes backwards here at Darlington, but he's up and moving. The pace car stuck on the inside of the pit lane, and he is up and moving. Peter, the base car, out on the racetrack here at Darlington. Back in just a moment. Bang, bang, welcome back here, heading down the Boeing back straightaway. See a ton of guys in the chat wanting to know how to get involved inside of the Madness Racing League. Free to join and race, offering trucks, Xfinity, and currently Gen 6 Cup at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and screenshot the code on your screen and get yourself logged in and loaded into the Discord so you can find yourself out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looking out the tail end of Peter the Pace car underneath the caution flag for the first time here tonight. Ty Robertson's going to be the first one to lead him down on the pit lane after the caution flag there. After looks like going to be Terry Hughes Jr. and Sean Williams and getting involved in the accident. Looks like several guys coming down here. Here comes the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. We'll just choose a random one to go with down on pit lane, and we'll ride along with Nicholas Maynard as he pulls down into his pit box. His guys will jump over to the right side of the race car. Looks like it's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard here in his Menards number 02 Team Penske Development Toyota Supra, and his guys will work on. You're riding out the front cam of Chase Johnson. He's on and off the pit lane here. We're looking out the exit of pit road. So chilling about 6,000 feet above the racetrack right now with Billy the Blimp driver, and we have him up here because he is absolutely mayhem when he has boots on the ground. He is throwing back Budweiser's left and right. So we just leave him up here in the iRacing Blimp cam, giving you a beautiful shot of the Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina, as they climb the banking through turns 3 and 4 behind Peter the Pace car. Chase Johnson's going to have the race lead here after a strategic call. He's going to stay out here and try to make up the strategy call some kind of different way. On the outside of him, we'll come up to your right side of you, straight down your screen pretty much, getting ready to drive through your living room. The number 99 of Jerry Powers in this Havoline Camaro. So it looks like we'll get the one to go racing this time. We'll double up and door-to-door this time into turns 1 and 2. And we'll get ready to see the green flag here in just a moment. We gladly appreciate everybody tuning in here, and while we are waiting to take the green flag one more time here as we head around the Darlington Raceway, got a couple more guys catching the tail end of the field. We'll go ahead and pull up those playoff points. You want to know how these drivers are facing out coming into tonight's event. We've already raced 2 playoff races out of the 4 scheduled. Ty Robertson has a 7-point gap lead over Everett Larson. Neil Rutt the third, still trying to make something shake there, 14 points back, with Corey Tessner trying to eat into the playoff cut right there. 2 weeks from now, folks, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Make sure you bring your checkbook, your wallet, and your betting tickets. Who's going to be the betting favorite to win the championship here in Season 3 of the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series? We get ready to find out here as we get ready to shake out Darlington first. Freddie the Flagman has the green flag in the air. Chase Johnson, Jerry Powers, slam back down on the green flag. We got a lot of guys getting a little bit loose, slamming down on the gas. Green flag back in the air here. Looking up in the spotter cam down here on top of the Earnhardt Towers in turns 3 and 4. This is going to be the view that the spotters have all night long, trying to coach their drivers around the agonizing lady in black that here in Darlington, South Carolina. You see everybody's got their ducks in a row. Really just seeing how much of a hard of a job that these guys have when you're responsible for a $100,000, $200,000 race car and the life of the driver inside of it. You would shit your pants too. We got lap traffic slowly approaching ahead of us as Terry Hughes Jr. heads underneath the Earnhardt Tower now with Chase Johnson slowly catching him in the distance. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 laps are complete out of the South Carolina 150 live here at the Darlington Raceway. Maynard trying to make his way back up to the front here with Everett Larson. Tessner's right behind him. Looks like we got a little bit of a wall jangle there from Ty Robertson and that'll be A-OK. We're going to get you down here on the racetrack for tonight's first Madness Racing League Fast and Live. Here on the Mini Scoot Racing Channel, 21 laps are complete at the South Carolina 150. Climbing the making through turn 1 and 2. Ty Robertson has the race lead, trying to hold on to it. He's led majority of the laps here tonight from the pole. Contact to the outside, safer barrier there from Chase Johnson. Will bring his teammate James Bowman right into the picture. Looking out of the front nose of the King of the Hill, Chase Johnson racing number 24 machine. Live and ripping and roaring here in Darlington, South Carolina. It's the South Carolina 150 for the Madness Racing League playoff race number 3. Maynard starting to catch this back over of Jerry Powers in the Javelin number 99 machine. Powers complaining a little bit of a snug condition through turns 3 and 4. That's really where he's given up majority of his time as well. Watch him and Maynard battle it out here in a 3 and 4. How does Jerry Powers try to change up his line a little bit? Sail high through 3 and 4. Maynard closes up the distance there just a tad bit, but it's Robertson off the exit of turn 4 with a race lead. Lap traffic slowly approaching ahead. You look out the front nose of the race leader, Ty Robertson, running from Everett Larson. The battle for the possible championship. Robertson hits the outside safer barrier. So does Jerry Powers. He's way down on the bottom side of the racetrack, but he's able to feed himself back in front of the 0-2 of Maynard. How does this bring Corey Riptide Tesner, this number 8 Chevy Camaro, into the picture? Corey, missed practice here tonight, only got 2 qualifying laps underneath his belt. He's out here tonight ripping the top side of the racetrack here in 1 and 2 and doing it damn real good. He's at it. That's the dirt tracking experience out of the number 8 of Corey Tesner as you ride out the right rear cam. See how close he gets up to the wall in 3 and 4 and don't even give it a touch. Not a Darlington stripe anywhere on that number 8 of Corey Tesner as he elects to try to take the bottom lane here and push Maynard here on the front straightaway. We got a drag race in the turn 1 and 2. You see both of these guys really have to check up on the brake there. Powers being surrounded, gridlocked here by Jerry Powers. And contacts made. Tesner down on the bottom side. What a save from the number 8 of Corey Tesner. Contacts made between him and the number 99. If you're not loving what you're seeing, grab your shit and go home. Testing their powers. We're banging doors here in Darlington, and we're slowly should be knocking on the back door to those green flag pit stops here ever so slightly. Couldn't really remember to tell you exactly when they said. I know it starts with the 3 though, so somewhere in the 30s. So we're not even nowhere near. We already had two caution flags, excuse me, here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. The battle for the race lead slowly starting to come into play here as we pull up the race recap here. 27 laps start complete out of the schedule. 110, Ty Robertson, the race leader. We've had 2 cautions for about 4 laps, not sure where they kind of get their math from. Whoever created iRacing must have went to public school, but I'm a little bit smarter than that. The battle for the race lead. Larson banging and Justin on the brake bias here, trying to make something shake. He'll change his lineup this time through 3 and 4, but it looks like Robertson does a little bit better getting back to the gas here with Everett Larson. You'll ride on board with a 14-year-old all the way across the front straightaway, trying to make the move for the race lead. Holding their foot down on the clutch, rolling to the top side of the racetrack. Everett Larson's team has him doing inside of this 0-1 as he tries to run down the race leader and Ty Robertson. We'll see what Robertson's doing. He's got the same plan going on as he must know that the guys must have relayed the message already. Hey guy, that this guy is back here on the clutch saving gas. You need to do the same here. You do not want to get beat fuel mileage wise here tonight at Darlington, especially to start the first green flag pit stop. What really makes Darlington Raceway a very unique track is the shape of this very ugly-ass racetrack. And if you've ever been here in real life, though, a beautiful sight to see, though, in person. What used to see these guys going down right now is called the Boeing back straightaway. But about 20 years ago, that used to be the front straightaway. So where the cars cross across the line right now, coming off the exit of turn 3 and 4, the race leader, used to be called the back straightaway. And the fans used to sit on the opposite side of the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, though, when they flipped the racetrack here, it became what is now turns 1 and 2. What used to be turns 3 and 4 is now turns 1 and 2 and vice versa. Really shook shit up here at Darlington. It threw the drivers for a loop back in 1997 when this shit happened. And let me tell you something, the race there you can go find on YouTube is a absolute barn burner. It is an awesome race to watch underneath. The first race once they flipped the Darlington Raceway. This is not the only track on the NASCAR circuit, I shall say, that has had this very same treatment. As we just seen that recently this weekend, the Atlanta Motor Speedway was reconfigured from its cookie cutter mile-and-a-half racetrack configuration to a drafting style track. And what I mean by that is kind of like they did here at Darlington, flipping and making things bigger, the banking change in different ways makes these drivers have to work. That was one of our keys of the race here. Who was going to be able to stay patient here tonight for 160 miles, which was 110 laps here tonight around this 1.36 mile racetrack. Maynard slowly hawking in the number 24 King of the Hill. Chevy Camaro, does the Toyota Supra have enough? As Jerry Powers has gotten loose somewhere throughout the event, and Corey Tesler just hasn't been able to recover since getting hit by the number 99. Chase Johnson's going to call it quit. He'll be one to bring it down on the pit lane here on lap number 32. This is the number 5 Chevy Camaro of Chase Johnson Racing. The Ocean Lakes on board this week. That'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and they'll take a little bit of a half pound air pressure adjustment out of the number 5, trying to loosen him up in turns 1 and 2. The sun's starting to peek out about behind the clouds here one more time here. Lap number 33 of the scheduled 110 working in the business right now. When one person has been down on the pit lane, you just seen it, it was Chase Johnson. How does anybody else, if they decide to come down early, if not, do you run it all the way? Robertson, Larson, we've seen them on board inside of their helmet cams, on the clutch, saving as much Sunoco Racing fuel as possible. But this guy right here, Thomas McLaughlin's going to try something different here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. On the bottom side of the racetrack goes the number 38 as he'll come down the agonizing 45-mile-an-hour pit lane as the rest of the crew begins to work off the front straightaway. He'll lose the lap to Ty Robertson this time around. Thomas McLaughlin's team's going to have to be on and up a pit lane in a bolt of lightning. Fountain and Maynard slowly working their way back up here through the pit cycle. Here's guys begin to tear off on the bottom side of the racetrack. Hughes will pull down to the bottom side. And this was another one of the keys that we forgot to add in there to the night pit. It looks like Terry Hughes Jr. just did it. He'll miss pit road. The number 81 will have to take another lap around here. He'll miss pit lane. That's a killer for Terry Hughes Jr. McLaughlin speeding on pit lane. He'll lose some time here to the number 38 Ford Mustang. Critical pit stop needed there, and he will blow it and grab a speeding on pit lane penalty. He'll come the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tessner. He'll try to make something shake inside of this Chevy Camaro here from Greer, South Carolina. So a hometown driver here for the South Carolina 154. Fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and it looked like they're going to have trouble jacking up the number 8. A little bit slow getting it on and off pit lane here. Corey Tester's going to have to try everything in his business as Power, Maynard, and Fountain and Larson stay out on the racetrack trying to run the long run. So that is now 2 Chase Johnson Racing cars coming down on the pit lane, and we got a couple more. Calling it quits. It's Fountain and Maynard side by side trying to make something shake. Maynard, is he able to get it slowed down? Looks like he was able to. Him and Fountain door to door there. This could be the battle for the possible race lead here through the cycle. These guys came down on the pit lane, and they did service their race cars on the first caution flag, flew back on lap number 5, so they had max fuel inside of their race cars, Fountain looking for 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and a little bit of a wedge adjustment inside of the number 24 machine. Maynard's guys are going to hop over the wall. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Maynard says leads the car just how it is. It feels good right now. We need a great stop. We try to beat this 24 on and off of pit lane. They'll drop the jack there on the 0-2. The battle off pit lane. Give it to Fountain as they work their way off of pit lane. Robertson's already put him a lap down as he's coming back around turns 3 and 4. Green flag pit stops are in full effect here tonight in the South Carolina 150 live here in Darlington, South Carolina. The Exalta number 9 of Ty Robertson has the race lead over that 0-1 Camaro of Everett Larson. McLaughlin had a slow pit stop down on pit lane. We'll get 2 more takers this time. It'll be the number 99 Havoline machine of Jerry Powers from New Jersey. Jerry Powers said he could not wait to get back up north. The mosquitoes down here in Darlington are about the size of baseballs. He'll bring it down on the pit lane, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and he's looking for a little bit of a tight adjustment here somewhere inside of that number 99. Tony Cook's crew guys are telling him that the race car is absolutely tight as can be. It's like racing a virgin out here. The number Tony Cook 33 machine will get a half-pound air pressure adjustment out of both right front tire and the left front tire. They'll drop the jack. He'll be on and off of pit lane, and here comes Neil Rutt to try to come service his machine. It's Jerry Powers and his guys drop the jack. So Robertson, Larson running neck to neck here. Both of these guys trying to save as much fuel as possible. Neil Rutt the third will pull down on the pit lane and service his number 66 Camaro. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and he should be good to go until about lap 67, 70 or so, 6, 7, whatever the kids are saying these days. I can't keep up, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the South Carolina 150 with green flag pit stops in full effect. We'll get you down on the racetrack for another blimp cam, battle cam, whatever you want to call it. I need a chance to wet my whistle. Green flag pit stop cycle out. Robertson has the race lead. We appreciate you guys being patient there for the battle cam, looking down here through the Darlington Raceway's awesome cameras that they have here, putting on a beautiful show here. Thomas McLaughlin not going to be pushed over here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's a lap down, trying to get his lap back. You're looking out the front end of this number 38 Coca-Cola Ford Mustang. This blue oval's got some speed in it. You hear him playing around with the throttle, trying to get a little bit of grip off the corner. And he keeps it out of the back straightaway. Outside turn 2 fence there. Robertson going down on the pit lane. And that'll leave Thomas McLaughlin able to come around and grab his lap back. Hughes is down on the pit road as well. He'll come down to service his machine. Here comes Robertson, and Larson will chill it. Wow, in the distance, and Everett Larson blows pit lane. He'll have to put it in reverse and go back down on the pit road. This is going to be a killer for the number 01 of Everett Larson, running for the championship here inside of the Madness Racing League. Ty Robertson says, do not touch the race car when it comes to making an adjustment. Just 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. They'll do just that for the number 9 of Ty Robertson. And he will probably have the battle. Looks like going to be Fallon or Maynard, I would imagine, here through the cycle. Larson will finally come through and slide into his box. 4 fresh Goodyear tires. 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel for the number 01. And Robertson's already on and off a pit lane. That's going to be big time killer for the number 9 of Ty Robertson. So that'll leave James Fountain cycling up to the race lead here from Greer, South Carolina. So one of these Carolina kids at least going to lead a lap or 2 out here for the hometown crowd. The guy right behind him, though, Nicholas Maynard. So that'll leave 1, 2, 3 South Carolina drivers up here running around. Everybody make it 4. Tessner's made his entry here in the picture. He's all over that outside safer barrier, painting it and beating it all the hell. But we got 4 South Carolina drivers banging out up here in the top 5, representing here in Darlington. I wonder what that means. Does being from the state really maybe give you then an advantage when it comes to racing out on the racetrack, or especially when it comes to virtual racing? This is iRacing. It's only a video game, so don't get your panties in a wad and do whatever one of you liberal liberals keep flagging our live streams for dangerous activities. This is a video game, and what I mean by that is get your head out of your ass. This is 2026, the South Carolina 150 heading down the back Boeing straightaway here in Darlington, and you're not liking what you're seeing, just go ahead and hit the road. Jack the 99 made an adjustment there on that green flag pit stop. It's come to life, really, though. He's gotten around the number 66 of Neil Rutt III. But right now, though, on the long run, it's Fallon out front here in Darlington, setting sail away from the number 02 and Maynard. Is Maynard trying to save a little bit of rubber here on the long run, knowing that he's got the track position needed, as Ty Robertson and these guys are gridlocked. They'll have to make a pass around at least Corey Tesner and Chase Johnson, these 2 Chase Johnson racing machines that pitted way earlier in tonight's event. All 13 of you that have stuck around inside of the TikTok chat here tonight, we fully appreciate you guys doing that. Head on over to the YouTube page in front of you, located on the top right portion of your screen, and give us a like and a follow over there. Go watch some of the shorts and highlights from the previous races. We'll bring up the pit lap stop count right now. James Fountain last pitted on lap number 37, and his team threw down a 14.4 second pit stop for that number 24 car. Here comes Nicholas Maynard down on the same lap right behind him, and he was 0.3 of a second slower on that 02 Menards Toyota Supra, but they're cycled their way back up here into the 1 and 2 spot, pitting from lap number 37. Chase Johnson comes down 6 laps before that, grabs a 14.6 second 4-tire stop. He's grabbed his way back up here in the 3rd place position. Right behind him led his teammate Corey Tessner to call the bluff. Come down on lap number pit lap number 35, and his guys were a little bit slower than he anticipated, a 15.3 stop, but that was because they went ahead and took a wedge adjustment bar and put it inside of Tessner, which is why he's starting to battle a tight condition. But they're promising Tessner on the long run that it will loosen itself up here. We'll see how it works out for the number 8 machine as the lights begin to come on here in Darlington. The light's starting to come on here in Darlington. The sun slowly starting to dissipate behind the cloudy, murky, hot South Carolina sky. Climb of the banking here into turn 1 and 2, riding out the front end of the Haviland, number 99 of Jerry Powers. Jerry Powers says the car feels good right now. Neil Rutt the third, though, said he feels maybe pushing a little bit harder than he is. We'll see how Neil Rutt tries to play it out. We'll check his lap pit time and see what time he came down. Neil Rutt come down on lap number 40, so he's got about a 5-lap advantage over the race leaders in James Fountain and Nicholas Maynard when it comes to grabbing, I would say, fresher tires at that, but not sure. Tesler managed to get around his teammate right there of Chase Johnson, and here comes Ty Robertson down on the bottom side of the racetrack. We got a kerfluffle fuck down here in turn 2. Heading down the back straightaway, it's going to be Robertson getting around Chase Johnson, though, here on the green flag pit cycle. McLaughlin stuck in the outside safer barrier here in Darlington. McLaughlin big time slow. Do they keep it green here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel? It looks like they will. Fountain, the race leader, heading down the Boeing back straightaway. Climb of the banking here in turns 3 and 4. Maynard right behind him in second. Tessner will be the third place spot, and he'll now be door to door with Ty Robertson. We'll get ourselves a battle here for the third place position. Robertson and his teammate Everett Larson rolled around there holding the clutch in, trying to save Sunoco Racing fuel. It got him all the way to lap number 46 doing it. So he's got a significant tire advantage, about 11 laps. And we're racing in Darlington, folks. If you've never had the privilege to watch a race here at Darlington, one of the most toughest, beating, heartbreaking racetracks on the NASCAR schedule. Some of the greatest finishes of all time, though, have come from this very racetrack. Now it's time for Chase Johnson, who started the green flag pit stop the first time around after staying out underneath the caution flag, to come back down and cycle out for another one. Just when you think it can't get better, Chase Johnson coming down on the pit lane as the lights begin to fully illuminate themselves here in Darlington. Chase Johnson's going to ask for 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and they're going to tell Chase Johnson that he's got to run long this time around when it comes to the strategy if he wants to have a chance to cycle back up here for a shot at the win. Lap number 60 slowly approaching us here this next time around. Maynard in the number 02, working his way up here in the second place spot from Wilford, South Carolina. Does he have enough tires saved inside of this Menards Toyota to go run down James Fountain here on the long run? Fountain, though, is set sail through turns 1 and 2, but he's in the outside safer barrier. The Greenville, South Carolina driver looks like he's got his hand full here on the long run. Riding on board the number 24 of James Fountain as he climbs the banking through 3 and 4, hits that outside safer barrier, gets stuck, can barely get it out. How does this affect the long run green flag pit stop cycle? Distance over time is going to be the math equation that you're looking for. I went to public school, so don't quote me on that. But it looks like it would just be a simple problem. But Fountain has that advantage when it comes on the pit lane over the 02. But Robertson, it has brand new 4 fresh Goodyear tires heading off a pit lane 10 laps later. You're riding out the front nose of the number 9, hawking down the 02 of Maynard, and he's back down on the clutch saving fuel. Chase Johnson comes down on the pit lane, coming back out off a pit road, and he'll be behind Ty Robertson. And if things keep shaking out like they're shaking, lap times keep going like they're going, I don't see why Chase Johnson can't get around. Yeah, Ty Robertson right now and leave himself back on the lead lap anytime soon on the green flag pit cycle, being the first one to start those cycles. I'm no genius, but I do know racing. Ty Robertson, though, we'll check the lap times this last time around compared to the leader. Robertson runs a 31.292. The leader runs a 31.263, but we know Ty Robertson saving fuel. James Fountain going balls to the wall, trying to make a stretch of lead out. He's got a 7-second gap over the number 02 in Nicholas Maynard, but does this make any difference? Johnson slowly catching that 02 on 4 fresh Goodyear tires. How does he make his move into 1? Maynard will go up on the top side of the racetrack. Johnson will go down low. They'll be door to door here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel, side by side off the exit of turn 2 down the Boeing back straightaway. Robertson will pull right here to the back bumper of Chase Johnson. That'll move him up to the second place spot as Maynard peels it off of the racetrack down on the pit lane. So his last time was about 3/10 slower than the race leader, James Fowen. But Fowen came down before Maynard, so Maynard this time will jump Fowen on the pit strategy call. How does the 02 team, decide to play it here? Coming down the 45-mile-per-hour agonizing pit lane. It looks like it's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and a wedge adjustment for the 02. Jerry Powers coming off a pit lane. He'll re-merge back onto the track off the exit of turn 2. He'll come out in front of the leader, James Fowen, in that number 24 machine. So Powers will have to get his ass on the move here and get up and going. Fowen, and then will drop the jack. He's on and off a pit lane. Can he get up and moving back through the gears before we have any kind of discombobulation on the green flag pit stops? Damn, what a shot right there from Tessner with that right rear quarter panel. Grabbing himself a Darlington stripe. The lady in black being kind to most of these drivers here tonight. Will she strike some of these guys in the later portion as the sun begins to fall behind down behind the clouds here and set down, and the moon begins to illuminate itself with the lights here in Darlington. Fountain to pull into his pit box here on pit lane. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the Chase Johnson Racing 24. Here comes the Chase Johnson Racing number 8 machine of Corey Riptide Tester. Same thing for him. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel as he slides down to his pit box on pit lane. Robertson, Rudd will be the top 2 drivers here through the green flag pit cycle. Everett Larson lost his position here. He's in the 3rd place spot. Fowen off the pit road, downhill smurl. Ah, yes! Woo! What a start right there for Fowen. If my math is correct, this should leave Fowen cycling his way somewhere between the 2nd or 3rd place spot and having a legit shot on time. I'm not sure if he'll have time to cycle back out there to Ty Robertson, but we've seen James Fowen do the better half of some miracle things here inside of the Madness Racing League. See how things continue to shake out here. We're on the better half of about a 43, 42 lap green flag run here. We haven't had a caution flag since about lap 12 or 13 here at Arlington. Heading down the Boeing back straightaway, the 66 of Neil Rutt III from New Jersey. Up 3 spots from where it started. It's just getting ready to say, calling into his crew chief. They're telling him to pit this time. And the number 66 will do just that, ripping through the gears, trying to make sure himself is slowed down enough not to get the green flag pit cycle penalty that he could so desperately not afford. Somewhere between about 40 laps to go. I can't really look up there and do commentating at the same time. How does Terry Hughes Jr. play with the lap traffic of Nicholas Maynard in his rearview mirror? Everett Larson back out on the racetrack. He'll cycle his way back up to the 2nd place spot here as Neil Rutt calls it quits down on the pit lane. Rutt will slide into his box. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the number 66 Chevy Camaro for the NR3 Designs machine. 01 of Everett Larson. Ty Robertson's been the topic all night long here tonight in Darlington. The number 9 back out front here through that long green flag pit stop after extending it about 10 laps, holding the clutch in, saving fuel. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, though, 71 laps, going to be 72 complete this time around. Everybody trying to hold on to their race cars. Maynard, he's already serviced. Fountain's already serviced. The only 2 cars yet to come down pit lane and put on some brand new Goodyear rubber is this 01 in Robertson, who slowly, knocking on the back door of lapping the field here in Darlington. The 14-year-old of Everett Larson go down on the bottom and sweeps back up to the top side of the racetrack. That looks like to be his preferred lane, and it's working for him right now. I mean, he's the only one on the lead lap besides Ty Robertson, but anything can happen here tonight at Darlington. Don't get it twisted. Heading down the Boeing back straightaway. Fountain needs to get around this number 9 machine, get himself unlapped, and Fountain will sail to the top side of the racetrack there. Peek to the right side, trying to get some clean air around the number 24. Can he complete the pass? Yes, he will. He'll unlap himself, get big loose. Pow! Hard on the inside. What a shot for James Fountain, and the caution flag will fly here. Holy shit! King of the hill, king of the whale. Caution flag is out here at Darlington for James Fountain. What a huge shot to the inside, safer barrier there for Fountain. We will back that ass up for the instant replay. It is an all brand new ball game here in Darlington. Holy shit! Fountain trying to make the pass around the race leader, Ty Robertson, to get himself unlapped, to be back on the lead lap through the green flag pit cycle. It was working all right and going perfect for Fountain. What just happened here in the closing laps? You're watching the instant replay. James Fountain on the top side of the racetrack, trying to get around Ty Robertson, slaps that outside safer barrier. Pow! Fountain trying everything possible to hold on to the race car here. We'll back it up one more time, see if we can't ride on board and get you the shot of James Fountain holding on to the race car, drifting sideways out of turn 2. So the left front is destroyed on this King of the Hill machine, and as they would say, damn it, Bobby, it's tore up. James Fountain destroyed here at Darlington. A possible race win right out of the door for the South Carolina driver. We're underneath the caution flag in the South Carolina 150. We're back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody catching up behind Peter the base car as they head down the back straightaway, climbing the banking into turn 3 and 4. Most of these drivers know what they have to do, but only 2 of them will have the opportunity to do it. What do we mean by that? Ty Robertson, the only guy on the lead lap there with Everett Larson, he'll be able to come down on the pit lane here and service his race car, while everybody else, starting with Nicholas Maynard, will have to stay out behind Peter the pace car and take the wave around. But Maynard will be scheduled the lucky dog here, so he should go right around us, and he'll be able to have the opportunity to pit there. There he goes. So the 0-2 will drive right on by. Bark, bark, bark. That'll leave Jerry Powers, Chase Johnson, looks like going to be Corey Tetzner back out on the racetrack here. They'll be looking for the wave around this time around. Fountain climbs out of the race car right here inside of this number 24. He'll throw his helmet on the dashboard after hitting the inside safer barrier. Looks like they're going to take it to the garage for James Fountain. He'll climb aboard that race car. We'll have the update there for you in just a moment. Everett Larson, Ty Robertson work their way off a pit lane. Here comes Nicholas Maynard, the lucky dog, and if he's lucky enough, he'll be able to service his race car and not go another lap down as Peter the pace car works through turns 3 and 4. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Pit lane, it was one of the keys of the race that we talked about here tonight. And most of these guys are going to have to do this. James Fountain complaining of a flat right front tire here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And the lady in black was not kind to the number 24 right there. James Fountain says they're going to try to get the damage fixed inside of the toe and see if they can't get it back out on the racetrack. Points are really going to matter all year long. Powers, Rutt, Tesner, and Johnson come down on the pit lane, so they should lose the wave around. You cannot pit and get the wave around. That is not how this works. Critical mistake here for these 4 drivers. We'll have to check up here and see exactly what the deal is there with that call. If under my impression, underneath the caution flag, if you were looking for the wave around, which should have been this lap right here, that would have been that group of cars. You cannot pit. You must wave around first, and you have to stay and go to the back of the pack. And looks like these guys have decided to come down on the pit lane, so that may cost them chance at a wave around. We'll see how the admin plays it. We'll be back in just a moment here. These guys are taking a pit stop, so will we. So looks like everything was going to be squared away here. The admin has caught it okay to go. And it was all on my beat. So it looks like there was a lap added the time before. Just giving you your clarification on what just took place there. So what should have been a 3-lap pace caution was a 4-lap pace caution. The admin added a lap there, and I must have not heard him throughout my headphones, so that's apologies to me. Green flag is back in the air here for the South Carolina 150, and we got trouble down here on the bottom side of the racetrack. It's the number 99 of Jerry Powers. He says there's smoke coming through the cockpit right now. Caution flag is out on the racetrack. Caution flag is out here on the racetrack, and it looks like it may be for the number 81 and Terry Hughes Jr. He's slow on the front straightaway. We've seen Jerry Powers, smoke coming through the cockpit, coming down on the pit lane. He'll get the break that he was looking for. Terry Hughes Jr., Neil Rutt the third, battling it out here in Darlington. Let's take a look and see what happened as we pull up the instant replay. Looks like Terry Hughes Jr. just gets out of line there. Has to lock it down after getting loose here on the front straightaway. We'll ride on board with Terry Hughes Jr. as he had his hands full in here in Darlington. What a save there from Terry Hughes Jr., the Alabama driver, slipping and sliding and hanging on to it there. Slipping and sliding all over it like mayonnaise on bread. We'll be back in just a moment. The caution flag has flown quickly there. 2 separate incidents. The South Carolina 150 has less than 30 laps to go. You're not going to want to miss a thing. Keep it right here. We'll go back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, chilling up here in the fan cam over here in turns 1 and 2. It's actually a hell of a seat, about $25 just what could get you here for the Madness Racing League. Sold out here tonight for the South Carolina 150 live here in Darlington. And Looks like we got a couple takers down on the pit lane. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars should be looking to take the wave around here. Chase Johnson scheduled as the lucky dog this time around. 1 to go racing here for the South Carolina 150. Peter the pace car has had one hell of a night. We had about a 44, about a 47, about 45, 46 lap green flag run earlier tonight. Terry Hughes Jr. will take the wave around right there. He'll catch the tail end of the field. And give me just a second here, folks. The admin is calling me over. Give me just a moment. Okay, 10-4. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will add a lap here underneath the pace car, so the lights will flicker back on top of Peter's big jacked-up Silverado dually truck down the back straightaway. We'll wait for these guys to catch the tail end of the field, as those were the wave around group that last time around. Just going over right there with the admin on what the black flags were being cleared there for and making sure that everything was all A-OK. So through all of this combobulation, we had 2 come down on the pit lane. That's Ty Robertson and Everett Larson. And it looks like the race leader is now going to be the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. And this Menards Team Penske Development Toyota Supra. He will redeem the race lead here after a long green flag pit cycle about 30 laps ago. So we'll see how Maynard decides to play it out here. We'll check his pit lap, and it is currently, I believe, lap number 80 or something like that. So yeah, Maynard come down and pit on lap 75. So the first caution flag we had there previously. So he should have the fuel. Does he have the tires? Maynard trying for a Hail Mary here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and to make something shake here for the win in Darlington, his hometown track. Sounds like Maynard saving a little bit of Sunoco Racing fuel. That'll bring up some strategy in here, pitting on lap number 75. Robertson comes down there this previous caution flag and fills up the race car and puts brand new tires on it. How does the number 9 fire off compared to this Toyota Supra of Maynard? Larson, Johnson, Tessner, Hughes, Power, and Rutt will be the drivers. Working back through the Geico restart zone here at Darlington Raceway. Green flag and ready to fly in the air for the South Carolina 150. Nicholas Maynard is on the front row. Green flag is back in the air here on the restart. Working down the Boeing back straightaway. Maynard, Robertson, Larson, Johnson, Tessner, the top 5 drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Tessner's had one hell of a shot and a hell of a night here tonight. Corey Tessner joined in late to the session here. Couldn't get his car through tech. Lost his practice time. The only lap Corey Tessner had tonight coming in to tonight's Darlington Raceway was his 2 qualifying laps. Didn't set too bad of a time. Maynard hard into the outside safer barrier. He's going to have to hold on to this 02 Supra, but Ty Robertson has his quarter panel into 3 and 4. Maynard shuffled 3 wide into 3 and 4. He'll have to hold the bottom side. He'll pull up in front of the number 5 of Chase Johnson, and the battle down the the front straightaway off the exit of turn 3 and 4. Maynard hits the outside safer barrier off of turn 2, and the battle for the race lead is no longer in existence as Robertson and Larson have set sail off turn 2. The drone cam coming into effect down the back straightaway, really giving you a look at how much better Tessner's number 8 is than the beat-up Johnson number 5. Tessner's been able to keep this HendrickCars.com Camaro clean all night long, and that's not one of the usual things we're able to say about Tessner. He's usually got his elbows up and pedal to the metal. He's making a move around his teammate and Chase Johnson. Big time loose. Here comes Terry Powers up the middle. What a move. At Darlington, contacts made up the racetrack, goes Tessner to Powers. Side by side off the exit of turn 2. And these two guys aren't going to spare each other an inch here at Darlington. See Tessner got a little bit of sparks there, almost getting to the outside safer barrier off the exit of turn 2. Terry Hughes Jr. back on the lead lap and back in the mix. Can Terry Hughes Jr. recover after spinning out there from Troy, Alabama, trying to spread his mayo all over the back bumper of Chase Johnson, make it nice and slick and get away here to the top 5 spot? No, did he? Terry Hughes Jr. has had a fight, scratch, and claw here tonight to get to where he's at. We're slowly knocking on the pay window here with 23 laps to go. And Terry Hughes Jr. slowly trying to march his way back up through the field. Look out the right rear cam of Neil right to third. See how high he's able to get up on the wall there without hitting it. What a great arcing. Really like a diamond arc through turns 1 and 2 for Neil Rutt. Contact made off the corner there. Terry Hughes Jr. gets him a slice of the turn 2 exit. The lady in black not being generous here late in tonight's event. How will the tire wears come into effect? Do these guys have enough Sunoco racing fuel? We've seen it all night long. Somewhere between 30 and 32 laps is where these guys have been pulling down on the pit lane, servicing these race cars. Excuse me. Well, I hate to tell you, I'm not the greatest at math. They've been about 31, 32 laps to go since they came down on the pit lane. Who will do what, when, where, why, and how? Don't you love a fully illuminated, lit up Darlington Raceway heading up the exit of turn 2? A beautiful sight to see when the lights come on. There is not a fan sitting down here in the South Carolina 150 as Robertson and Larson tangle back and forth here for what could be the possible race win here tonight in South Carolina. But better than that, these two guys battling for a championship with inside of the Madness Racing League. One more race remains after tonight, and that is at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Whoever has the most points at the conclusion of the race 2 weeks from now will be the Season 3 champion. Right now, it's a knocking match between Everett Larson and Ty Robertson. Whoever wins the race here tonight at Darlington damn sure could go ahead and probably submit themselves in a damn good Jeopardy spot to go to the championship race in Vegas and hold on to it there and call themselves a Madness Racing League champion. Not trying to spoil anybody's party here tonight, Corey Tessner, though. If he can just manage these last 18 laps, somewhere between about 21, 22 miles left to go in tonight's event, Corey Tessner currently registered in the 4th place position after starting in the 12th place spot here tonight. He's currently up 8 spots from where he started, currently scored as the hard charger. Tessner needing these bonus points here tonight. The hard charger would award Tessner 20 bonus points to his total score. And with the point standings sitting like they are coming in here tonight, Tessner could need that 20 points to make it 194, put him back 68 points, plus a good finish here tonight could do magic wonders for Corey Riptide Tessner. He just needs to stay patient here on the long run. 7 points is the difference between these two drivers and a chance at a championship here in the Madness Racing League. Heading down the Boeing back straightaway, Robertson trying to defend against the number 01 of Everett Larson. Both of these guys trying to save fuel the majority of tonight's race, holding the clutch in. Larson all over the back bumper of Robertson down the front straightaway. Larson won the race at the North Wilkesboro Speedway to kick off the playoffs. Robertson trying to grab a win here, his first playoff win here in Season 3. Pulling away just a smidge bit from the 0-1 out of turn 2. Larson's going to have to change his lineup. 14 laps to go this next time around. Tesner trying to pull away from Neil right to third. This fourth and fifth place battle going on here. Jerry Powers has moved his way up to the third place spot. A great run here for this Havoline Davey Allison throwback here tonight at Darlington. Look at the way the lights glare off of the wall here at Darlington. A beautiful shot there. Heading off of turn 2 down the back Boeing straightaway. Jerry Powers. Tribute throwback scheme here tonight to Davey Allison, and it's got some Davey Allison-ish type speed in it. It's handling really well here on the long run. We heard him complain of it being tight earlier, and they put a half-packer wedge adjustment in it when they came down on that long green flag pit stop. Powers really able to go from the bottom to the top side of the racetrack with very little to much, if any, wheel input inside of that number 99. We're slowly approaching 13 laps to go here in the South Carolina 150. Live here in Darlington, South Carolina. Robertson pulling away from Everett Larson like it's absolutely nothing. We'll get you down on the racetrack for one more Madness Racing League, Fast and loud. We got 12 laps to go. Robertson leads them here in Darlington. Welcome back here on the main broadcast cam live here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel for the South Carolina 150. 8 laps to go here for the Madness Racing League Premier Xfinity Series playoff race number 3 of 4. Tesner gets shipped up the racetrack there by Terry Hughes Jr. Contact's made across the front straightaway. Huge tags by Corey Tesner. Power on the inside wall. Caution flag fly. Wow! Terry Hughes Jr. has it parked down on the bottom side of the racetrack like a protester. We will back that ass up here and check out what happened with Terry Hughes Jr. and Corey Tesner banging doors here at Darlington. Never leads, no good anywhere. Hughes, Tesner battle into turns 3 and 4. Tesner elects to go high as possible. Hits the outside safer barrier, riding out the front nose of the HinderCars.com machine of Tesner. Tesner just hits the right rear quarter panel of Terry Hughes Jr., ships him around, and Hughes takes a shot to the inside wall. So we'll back that ass up one more time and see if we can't ride out of the gyro cam of Terry Hughes Jr. inside of this Hellman Mayonnaise number 88 machine. We'll take a look. lady in black strikes here with about 7 laps remaining here in the South Carolina 150. If you're not ready to go racing and loving what you're seeing, slap that like button, press that follow button. These guys are getting ready, I'd imagine, to take another pit stop, and so will we. We'll be back in just a moment. Caution flag is out. Peter the pace car is on the racetrack. We'll see you in just a second. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and about 7 laps remain, and Terry Hughes Jr. goes around and the caution flag flies. Several takers, looks like going to be the whole field coming down on the pit lane, looking to service their race cars as they head on by here in Darlington. Who's going to do what, when, where, why, and how? Who still has 4 sets of rubber tires to go racing here in Darlington? Tesner will pull into his box. He'll put on at least 2 Goodyear rubber tires. Maynard's got tires. Neil Rutt III's got tires. Jerry Powers III, he's just sitting there, the number 99. He must have no rubber. Larson's got an extra set of tires. Here comes Terry Hughes Jr. Who's going to win the battle off pit lane here in Darlington? Ty Robertson, Everett Larson wins it over Neil Rutt III. Those will be the first guys on and off of pit lane. It looks like everybody else is going to be stuck back here trying to fix up a little bit of damage here for the finish, where we should go back racing with about 3 to 4 laps to go. Tesner on and off of pit lane. Robertson will come down there and grab 4 sets of Goodyear rubber and 2 cans. He'll grab a splash of Sunoco Racing fuel. That's what made him so damn fast right there on that pit stop. Peter the pace car is pacing through turns 3 and 4. Robertson will catch up behind him. We're back in just a moment with the conclusion of the South Carolina 150. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looking behind Peter the pace car, getting ready to go racing here underneath the caution flag. Well, looks like going to be about 4 laps to go when the green flag flies back in the air. It's going to be Peter the pace car hanging that left down on the pit lane. Things are getting ready to get absolutely bad shit crazy. Whenever Ty Robertson wants it, he can have it through the Geico restart zone. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 laps separate the South Carolina 150 in the ending of the playoff race here in Darlington. Side by side for what could be the race win here and possible points at the championship lead, leading South Carolina here tonight. Larson door to door there with Robertson, but Robertson's able to clear himself down the Boeing back straightaway. Larson will move up to the top side of the racetrack, trying to run down Ty Robertson. The battle off of turn 3 and 4, heading across the front straightaway. It'll be 2 laps to go here in the South Carolina 150, side by side. Neil Rutt the third and Corey Tesner go. Rutt gets loose up the racetrack, and Tesner puts the gas down. He'll drive right around Neil Rutt the third. Maynard in the top 5 spot right here with 2 laps to go. Johnson on his tail, trying to make something shake. These 2 guys were side by side in the truck race last night. White flag will be in the air this time around for looks like going to be Ty Robertson, presented by AFLGlobal.com. Side by side, Neil Rutt goes back in front of Corey Riptide Tessler. Johnson pulls door to door with Chase Johnson and Nicholas Maynard. The battle for the top 5 off of turn 2. Maynard gets put in the outside wall, but Johnson's able to hold on to it. Tessler's going to try one more time at Neil Rutt. Larson, Robertson for the final time here through turns 3 and 4. Checker flag is in the air on the other side of the green flag. And wow, looks like Ty Robertson wins the South Carolina 150 here tonight. What a finish there, folks, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ty Robertson wins it here tonight at the Darlington Raceway after holding on there to a crazy restart. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ty Robertson. 83 laps led here tonight. A little suspicious on the gas saving there I was earlier, but him and Everett Larson appear to be the only 2 drivers out there holding in the clutches and burning it down. But Ty Robertson's going to do a different kind of burn down now as he heads across the front straightaway. He's going to burn it down for you fans here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. As Ty Robertson burns it down here on the front straightaway, he'll bring it back to the line. He'll go grab the checker flag from Freddie the flagman here on the front straightaway at Darlington. Looks like Coleman, Alabama's Ty Robertson will extend his championship playoff lead here in the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. We'll be back in just a moment with the post-race show.
If you could bury me, I'd claw my way back through hell to bring you to your knees. I wanna see your face as you watch the world fall apart at the seams. I know all your secrets, I know all your lies. You should know what goes around comes around. You get what you came for.
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Just wrapped up here at the Darlington Raceway for the Madness Racing League Premier Xfinity Series playoff races. Ladies and gentlemen, it was one hell of a show here tonight. Just seen Ty Robertson dominate and go to victory lane after him and Everett Larson saving up fuel to hold on to the race win there. In the end, we got a pit lane reporter down on the pit road with the race winner and Ty Robertson. We'll see what he has to say. Go ahead.
Down here in victory lane for the South Carolina 160 for the Madness Racing League playoff race. We're with the winner, Ty Robertson. Ty, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Darlington. Almost ran away with it there at the end, but the caution flag will fly there in the closing laps, and you'll have to hold on to it, and you were able to do so. Just kind of walk us through the win here tonight. It looks like you picked up your 3rd or 4th win on the season.
Yeah, first off, obviously I'm going to give a big shout out to my teammate. We've worked together great tonight. Stayed up front, got a bunch of points for the team. It's fun battling your teammate for the championships, and you always got to race with respect. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Gordon, obviously running his final ride throwback. He was a big idol of mine growing up. And the racetrack, I don't know what it is, but I love this racetrack. It suits my driving style perfectly. There on that first pit stop, we tried to get some gas and save some gas, and we were actually going to be good there to the end on one more pit stop. So if it stayed green, we had a good shot of possibly lapping the field. You never know with the yellows that come out, so it happens. But yeah, it was a great race for the team overall, and hopefully we can close out the championship next week.
Almost lapping the field here at Darlington tonight. Should have no problem 2 weeks from now at Las Vegas. We'll scoot down here to the second place finisher, driver the 0-1 of Everett Larson. Everett, the one person you needed to be in the standings is Ty Robertson. He'll grab a win over you here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. Kind of walk us through your race inside of that 0-1 and what you've seen out the front windshield.
Man, honestly, this, I think, is my cleanest race of the season. I finished with a 0X today, and I'm just super duper happy overall with how this turned out. I'm really happy that my teammate was able to win there. I have to say, I'm the most happiest about being able to get the fastest lap of this race because that was a little inside thing for us, and I beat him. Anyway, I was really hoping to maybe get a chance to get up there and battle him, but I never was able to get all the way next to him because we were talking strategy, and it just wasn't the best idea. But other than that, I didn't see too much chaos out of my front windshield. I heard yelling, so I'm assuming something happened. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And other than that, I'm just once again, super happy. I also saw the number 02 car there. I feel really bad for him. He had to clear some people's black flags so that he got on the wall really bad there. That sucked, man. But just really fun, fuel saving everything with Ty, and just congrats to him.
As Everett Larson, driver the 0-1, he'll continue to try to chase down Ty Robertson for the championship. 2 weeks from now, we'll finish out here with the third-place driver. We'll continue on with the driver interviews, the 66 of Neil Rutt. Neil, kind of show us your strategy coming into tonight. You said you've never seen the place walking into the Madness Racing League's playoff race here tonight. Just kind of walk us through what your number 66 throwback scheme had here tonight.
Yeah, we, the NR3 cam never had enough funding to get down here to Darlington, so we're a little behind the 8 ball. Ran pretty good, just trying not to kill the wall because we all know the stripe is a big thing here. All in all, good night for our Bill Elliott throwback NR3 Designs Chevy. Pretty cool looking scheme under the lights, under the sun, so I was glad to show it off here tonight. Congrats to Ty and Everett. That's the top 3 here going into the last race, so it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a must-win to even have a remote shot at it, so we'll see you all in 2 weeks at Vegas.
That's Neil Rutt the third. He'll finish in the podium P3 spot. The 66 will scoot down here to the fourth-place finisher driver, the number 8, Corey Tesner. Corey, you had a trouble going through take here. Your car was laid out to the grid, so you were only getting qualifying laps, no practice, and you'll still score top 5. Kind of walk us through your strategy there at the end, putting on 4 brand-new tires and had a shot at it.
Yeah, I feel like we had a good car coming out the gates. Missed practice, was able to figure it out in the first probably 20 laps of the race. Got into some pretty shitty spots there. Got put in the fence once. Just tried to fight through it there at the end. Thought 4 fresh tires would be the best option, but it's pretty hard to go around 2 really fast cars. But we'll look forward to it here in another couple of weeks and see what we can do then.
That's Corey Tesner, driver, the number 8. He is a playoff driver here. He'll try to close up that gap and try to make a run for the championship at Vegas 2 weeks from now. We'll scoot down here to the top 5 finisher of Chase Johnson, driver, the number 5, Ocean Lake Chevy. Chase, kind of walk us through your race here. Kind of set back majority of the race, kind of made your way up through the front, got off strategy, but being off strategy you were able to hold your track position around that 3rd to 4th place position. Kind of walk us through your race there in the closing laps.
Just really we had a good car up until I don't remember what lap it was. Tony Cook had got tight coming off of 2 and hit the wall, and I made a bad judgment on where he was going to go and just hit him in the rear end, and that really just messed up the aerodynamics on the car. It felt like we had a parachute on it from there, but was just trying to get a caution, and lo and behold, we got one with about 5 to go, so we could finally get the damage fixed. And car fell fast from there. We was just trying to go get as many positions as we could cleanly, and we got a top 5 out of it somehow. So congrats to Ty, congrats to Everett. That team, they were fast all night. Don't really know what we could have done different, but appreciate you putting it on, and we look forward to racing in Vegas for a championship in a couple weeks.
That's the top 5 finisher driver, the number 5, Chase Johnson, as he will continue to try to close up that gap for the championship run at Vegas 2 weeks from now. We'll scoot down here to the sixth-place finisher, driver the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Darlington and where things went wrong for the 02. Yeah, big shout-out to the guys back at the shop. The 02 Menards Throwback Stream was fast here tonight. I felt like we had a strategy there racing with James. Really got us out there track position. We was running 1-2. James made a mistake, gave us the race lead. Clearing some black flags there, trying to run co-admin on the track, slapped the outside wall, and it killed our car. But whatever we did have left up there in the closing laps, we were able to patch up and get it going. I felt like our car was a little bit better during the daytime. I felt like when the sun went down, we just became complete garbage. And that's probably just the product of these Toyotas. But out here racing with no teammate again tonight kind of sucks. Came up short last night at Michigan without one. So we'll see what happens 2 weeks from now at Vegas. Just can't wait to get this Xfinity shit over with. That's the driver of the 02. It looks like that'll do it for the driver interviews. And Ty Robertson will go to victory lane here tonight for the playoff race.
And Ty Robertson will go to victory lane here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel tonight at Darlington. We'll pull up the final results here for the South Carolina 150. It was one hell of a show, and we're glad you guys stuck around here tonight to witness it with us. Ty Robertson goes to victory lane for the fourth time this season inside of the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Everett Larson grabs the second place position, and Fury Cam Racing continues the battle 1-2 for the championship in the Xfinity Series. Neil Rutt III in his M&D Motorsport 66 grabs the third place spot. Corey Tesner back in action here in the Xfinity Series and makes himself known here tonight with the Hard Charger Award. He'll finish 8 spots better than where he started. Chase Johnson will grab the top 5 spot there on the last lap, battling door to door there with Nicholas Maynard. The number 5 Chase Johnson Racing Machine will grab a P5, for Chase Johnson Racing 2 of 3 entry cars for top 5s. Nicholas Maynard hits the outside safer barrier there in the closing lap, so finishing the 6th place spot here after hitting the outside wall in the race lead. Double mistakes here tonight at the Lady in Black for the kid of Nicholas Maynard. We'll see how things shake out here in the coming weeks. Jerry Power snakes out the 7th place position here tonight in the Rush Motorsport Taveline number 99 machine from Park Ridge, New Jersey, with Terry Hughes Jr. bouncing back there from the action in 81XI Racing's 81 machine. 1 lap down here tonight in the 8th place position. James Fountain trying to unlap himself around the leader, and looks like Ty Robertson hit that outside safer barrier, got loose hard into that inside wall. Went James Fountain, damaged for the number 24 after his team accidentally put on a flat right front tire. Thomas McLaughlin from Georgia brings home the 38 machine here tonight in the 10th place spot for the Last Road Motorsports machine. Tony Cook hits that outside wall, finishes 69 laps down here in the number 33 Home Run Cafe Camaro, with Sean Williams finding out that last spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, South Carolina 150, live here from Darlington Raceway. We gladly appreciate everybody tuning in here. It's been one hell of a year. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. We'll blow up the schedule one more time, reminding you 2 weeks from now, the championship race at Vegas. We'll find out who's going to do what, when, where, why, and how, and who's going to be crowned the Season 3 champion here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Will it be Ty Robertson? Will it be Everett Larson? Or will it be Neil Rutt, Tesner, Johnson, James Fountain, one of those boys making a comeback? We'll have to stick around here 2 weeks and find out. Want to go ahead and remind everybody the ID5 Asphalt Series late model stock and wheel-in modified division is back in action. Not Monday, but the Monday after. Make sure you're tuning in here Wednesday night for the Gen 6 Cup Series race live at Talladega, baby. It's going to be one hell of a show. We'll see you then.